Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
And go.
Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast as we continue down our arduous journey of our top 25 games that are our favorites.
Are our favorites, arduous journey, arbitrary list.
I am the temporary co-host of this podcast. Normally I am the star of the show. Joining me is...
You're Jerry. You didn't say your name.
They know me by now.
Oh, then don't say mine either. They know mine.
They don't actually. You go by a pseudonym.
What's my
Gaby is
pseudonym?
not your real name.
That's true.
So I don't ever introduce you. I just say whatever slang term your alias.
Alias
Why don't I
Smith
have
and Jones.
Why don't I have an alias?
Alias starring Jennifer Garner, also from Adam Project.
How do you feel about Jennifer Gardner?
Jennifer Gardner? Jennifer's Gardner?
Well, Jennifer Gardner, and then her
Jennifer Garner. There's no D.
There's no D?
No, there's no D.
Never knew that.
Just Jennifer Garner.
There's a joke there that I won't make because
That's okay. Don't make it. Jennifer Garner. She was popular in Alias. Never watched it, and I just don't really. I mean, I don't care one way or the other.
done that, Affleck.
She was in the Adam Project, which I just mentioned on Netflix. She was effective in her role as a mother missing her husband, Mark Ruffalo, from 13 going on 30.
That was weird.
What?
13 going on 30 was weird.
Well, let's not get started talking about Big,
Weird.
where Tom Hanks is a young man.
Weird.
Sleeps with an older woman.
Weird.
As he is an older guy, an older bod. And it's like, you know what? I don't think they make that movie these days.
They would not.
Because it's weird.
It's weird. I don't watch Big. I don't even watch Little. It's weird.
Chicken Little?
No. I do not
The sky is falling.
do not like people causing stress for no reason. That's what he does. He spreads propaganda.
I create my own stress.
I know, but Chicken Little induces stress upon others.
I was thinking about something the other day. The Batman, which I think about pretty frequently because I love that movie.
It all the time.
What were you fixing to say?
I thought I was thinking about.
You're on a curse.
I think about.
That's not what you think
our
about it.
Pat all the time.
All the freaking time.
Him and the fact that I didn't like what's her face, the Catwoman lady.
You didn't like her?
No, I did not like her before the movie.
Oh, Zoe.
And by the time it was over,
Crevasse.
I still don't want to like her, but I liked her in that.
She was in Saturday Night Live. I didn't even know it.
I don't know.
No, it was of this episode that was like a month ago, probably. But
Whatever.
But I didn't watch it. Anyway, I was thinking we had a discussion on Disagreeable Nerd. Tune in. Hear our thoughts and feelings on movies.
Your thoughts and feelings that are poorly articulated.
And we had this old discussion about how does Batman use the bathroom in his suit.
He's like a spacesuit. He just does it.
Well, that's kind of what I said. Does he have a diaper? Anyway, but I was thinking, what is the Batman? What if he gave himself away as Bruce Wayne because like he's so used to being the Batman and he like walks into a restaurant and he's like, where's your guano room? I mean bathroom. But does he refer to his own feces as guano? Because he's a bat. And I was wondering, like, maybe he calls it the guano room.
I don't even know where to go with that. You've left me. I don't even know. That's not
Ace Ventura, guano.
Yes, that was exactly what I was thinking. Who was also the Riddler. So that should have been like that should have been a thing. Wouldn't that have been funny if they did the trailers and they made you think it was Paul Dano? And at the end, Batman like gets into his apartment and opens it up and it's a big fat poop. And he's like, it's guano.
Guano.
And it's Jim Carrey in the background, guano.
And he's going, shakaka.
That's a great, with the rhinoceros.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Ace Ventura 2 is better than the first. A rare sequel better than its first. Actually, that's not rare. It's the trilogy. It's the third that's always the weakest.
Yeah, the trilogies is rough.
Except for Back to the Future 2. God awful. Although I enjoy it. God awful.
I think it's good.
Hoverboards.
I think it's really good.
Space Biff.
I think it's Space Biff is really good. It's the third one that was kind of...
See, I liked the third one.
Well, you're a
butthead. It was a little more grounded.
Is that the banter?
Sure.
Okay, because we need to move along. That last one went really long. We did our top 25 through 21 because if you want to know what it is, you need to listen to it. We need the clicks. We're trying to get sponsored by somebody. I don't know.
Anyone.
Anybody.
Maker's Mark.
Shiner.
Preferably.
That'd be great. Maker's Mark. Just send us a bottle.
There you go.
We'll drink it
Just take one.
Yeah, just take one. Do you want me to start us off or you want to start us off?
Go ahead.
Number 20. A game for which I was pressured to play that looks awful, and yet it became one of my most played games of 2019. I believe It's a Wonderful World. Mm-hmm. This is the game for which kills, effectively, 7 wonders. This game is a 1 to 5 player game. The solo is actually very good. It's a drafting game of a similar ilk of 7 wonders, but yet the decisions that you make are very simple. You keep the card because you want to build it. What's required, the cubes that are required to build it are on the side, or you can discard the card and get a cube. And after the card is built, it produces certain other cubes. Rinse, dry, repeat.
It's like 7 Wonders meets Century Spice Road.
Yes, and I don't like those type of games. The fact that this game was so intriguing and yet at the same time kept my attention and has continually kept my attention bumfuzzles me. The only thing that has got me even more bothered is the fact that I kickstarted It's a Wonderful Kingdom, which is a 1 to 2 player version of It's a Wonderful World, but set in medieval times. It went back to the future, so to speak. And it has so many modules and so many different ways to play it. The replayability in this game is off the charts. I've played it several times with Enrique. And you can interchange It's a Wonderful World with It's a Wonderful Kingdom. If you just want a good 2-player game that you will not get tired of, that has so many different ways of playing it, It's a Wonderful Kingdom. If you play with more players than that and you want this particular theme, which is more modern, It's a Wonderful World. It's a Wonderful Kingdom is awesome. Absolutely.
It's a wonderful game is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. And
this is a weird game for me, for you.
Like
every time you raved about this game solo, you played the crap out of this game during the pandy and you played it with your wife and you're like, I love this game. And like, it's such a style of game. Like I said, it's 7 Wonders meets Century Spice Road. Those 2 games separately, you don't care for.
I can't stand it.
We had Century Spice Road. I sold it. You didn't like it. It's very basic.
7 Wonders awful.
7 Wonders, very basic. But I guess the mixture of those mechanisms makes this game something you like.
I'm going to delve into it a little bit more because I'd like for you to play It's a Wonderful Kingdom and we can do a review of it. It's that good. So that's number 20. It's a Wonderful World or It's a Wonderful Kingdom, depending on your preference.
My number 20. Pregnant pause. I've impregnated it. Voyages of Marco Polo.
Wonderful game.
I like this game a lot. And a lot of these games, my feelings of them have grown due to Board Game Arena. I have played the crap out of this game on Board Game Arena.
What's funny about this game is that it possesses what makes it so well designed is the fact that those player powers work. And we hate asymmetrical player powers. Mm-hmm. And I hate dice placement with a passion.
This game must be out of print because I'm looking on BGG and it has it for they have these links, and on Amazon it's $100.
That's because Marco Polo 2, which is particular somewhere.
You played that at one of the last BGGs went to, and that also is available on BGA, but I have not played it because I don't know how to play it.
My only problem with Marco Polo was there was some disconnect in the theme and how you can win. For instance, when you fulfill orders, Enrique just could fulfill orders and sit there and not really travel, whereas I'm traveling all over the place and somehow I'm not winning. So that disconnect, I didn't like that. That is fixed. The travel portion that was my only pet peeve with Marco Polo is fixed in Marco Polo 2. I have no issues with either of them really, except that one little thing with that one. That's why I give Marco Polo 2 the nod. There's also one little thing in Marco Polo 2 I don't really like.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought we had a discussion about this, and you said you actually prefer the original.
No, I had to prefer the second one because it fixed the problem.
Okay.
But either way, yeah, Marco Polo 2, either one of them.
Marco Polo is one of those, it's a dry Euro, especially theme-wise. It does have dice that you roll in the beginning, but depending on your player powers, it alleviates a lot of that. What? That's not the term. Alleviate's not the term. What do they call that when you can adjust the dice on stuff?
You manipulate.
No. It's like alleviate. It's like, okay, you're stuck with this. But you're not really stuck with it because you can adjust this.
Oh, you can mitigate.
Mitigate. That's the term.
Mitigate. Suffocate.
Suffocation. You can mitigate the die through various means. One of the reasons I like this game, which when I get to a game further up my list is really going to be key, is the restrictiveness of the movement. Which that may be what you're saying you didn't like about this and that part 2 fixes. I don't know. The way it reins you in on movement, because you have to have a bunch of camels and a bunch of coins to really move on down the road. And you have to stop at each location to get those benefits. I like all that in this game.
Daniel Tassini and Simone Luciani, the 2 designers of Marco Polo, famed designers of various other games.
Simone, my man.
Teotihuacan, Zolkin, and various others.
All that T stuff.
All that. So, yeah. Excellent game. My number 19, a game for which, when I first read the rule book, I said it's one of the best rule books I'd ever read. And I think it's just because I had read numerous horrible rule books at the time. And this one was a breath of fresh air. Underwater Cities by Vladimir Suchy. This game has a very simple mechanic of having 3 cards in your hand and a little action token that you set out onto the board. And if you set this token out into a particular colored area and play that color card, then you can do the action and do the card. So the whole thing is trying to do what you want to do, but at the same time have a backup plan. And in Underwater Cities, you are building an underwater city and its various structures to produce the various resources that you then use to continue to expand your city. It's very dry for a game that's supposedly so wet, and one of the games that I just generally would not have ever thought that I would enjoy because of the way that it scores, and the player aid looks very crazy when you first look at it, but it all makes sense after you've played it. Excellent game. And if you're one of the poor souls, the 75,000 people that have legitly rated Terraforming Mars and pushed it way up into the rankings on BGG, please repent and play Underwater Cities. There's no need to play Terraforming Mars.
Regret what you've done and make actions to prove that regret.
Please.
Then play Underwater Cities, and you'll say, oh, this is how it should have been all along.
And there you go.
I agree, 100%.
Your number, whatever.
My number 19 is Barony, a game that we have talked about in length. We talk about it frequently. A fantastic game by designer of Splendor, Marc-Andre. Madagot makes Barony. Recently, I had lost one of the player boards. I sent them a message. I sent them some money as well. They didn't send it for free, but I did get the piece of board I need. So they're still active and going and got stuff for this game. You can still get this game. Get this game. It's one of the best area majority influence movement games out there.
I believe I was quoted, or I should be quoted. Put this on the box,
Andre.
That this is like
Madagot.
This is like the modern day chess game to me. Like it's a mixture of not so much. It's a mixture of chess and checkers. It's very simple, but yet the planning and the thinking ahead and the moves that you make, and it's so very tight that one little mistake, one little move is always what it comes down to.
Because your movement takes place all with the horses, and then wherever you land your horse at, you decide what you want to build. From there, you can build one of 1, 2, 3 structures, and it's super simple.
Super simple.
But man, every game is different because the board changes and what you can build in certain locations is tied to the game. So that changes.
I think this game has the honor of being like the first game that was Board Game Snobs approved. I think this was the first game we really pushed.
It was like this and Gold West. We've talked about these 2 and Royals. We've talked about those 3 games at length. Those are games that no one else really talks about. I never see them on anyone else's list unless it's some, you heard of Barony on some Board Game Geek list that you were talking about just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Like somebody's talking. It's like there are people that know of this game, but it's not on any of the top 100s that I've seen here recently.
And it shouldn't be.
It should be. It's just fantastic.
Nobody should do top 100.
Oh.
My number 18, a Kickstarter that advertised of utilizing a new mechanism of some sort of action bidding selection thing at the time, which caught my attention. And since I was obsessed with Kickstarter at the time, of course, I backed it like I did many games and was disappointed in various ones. This one I was not. Rurik, Dawn of Kiev.
Rurik!
Not only is it innovation, but it's 25. Theme, and it's got just some minis with it. And there's a lot going on with it. I truly like Rurik. I think it is one of the better games to have come out within the past several years. Excellent design, and it changes things up. It truly is something different. If you like a little bit of bidding, a little bit of area control, you can use some asymmetrical powers, and with the expansion, it changes things up. Everything about Rurik is just a little bit different. Excellent game. Gaby's number 25.
Our first crossover.
My number 18.
It's a great game.
Great game. Your number 18.
I believe it's out of print, and it's probably the only out of print game I have on here. I'm looking on Amazon. Yeah, it says unavailable. You probably can't get it, but if you can get it, get it. Airlines Europe.
Oh, very nice.
This was the first game gifted to me.
Alan R. Moon.
Actually, it's the only game gifted to me. Well, besides you and Enrique giving me Project Elite. I played... Maybe I just discussed this game because I got this game when I was first getting into the hobby. I hate how people say that, but we all say it.
The hobby?
The hobby. Like it's the only one. The hobby.
All right. Like it's not the only game, so it's not the Game of Thrones. It should be a hobby.
It's a hobby.
I'm glad when you got into a hobby.
Right.
But that doesn't sound right. When I got into a hobby, well, what's your hobby? Board gaming? No, I took up pottery.
No, what do they call that when you're got yarn on your fingers and you do finger yarning?
I don't know. What's that? Finger yarning?
I used to do it. Like you had yarn on your fingers. No, don't talk. This is
a PG called finger yarning.
You like put the yarn on your fingers and
crochet
it's not crochet, but it kind of is. But you're doing it with your fingers.
Where did you do this at?
When I was young, I used to buy yarn
with the rest of the cheerleaders. What did you do? Finger yarning?
How dare you? Okay. I don't know how I did it, but anyway. Airlines Europe.
I was in the pottery and seances. I was trying to bring on back, what's his face? Patrick Swayze. Get it?
What?
Ghost reference.
Pottery
and seances.
Okay, yeah. You lost me.
You ruined the joke.
Sorry, you lost me. Into the joke.
That joke is dead.
Airlines Europe.
Yeah.
Alan.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Creator of Ticket to Ride.
Better than Ticket to Ride, actually.
This game is Ticket to Ride.
For adults.
But more complicated. It was often referred to as a next step from Ticket to Ride. It is simple. It is stocks. It has got airplane little miniatures and you fly along these paths. But at its basis, though, it's a stock game.
It is. Take stock.
And it's really, really, really good, and it's also really simple, and I like those two things mixed together.
Thank for that description.
Sorry, can you describe what you like about Airlines Europe better than I?
I like it a lot. It's good.
That's genotype all over again.
I enjoy the speculation of I can go out and build this airline, but at the same time as I'm putting effort into developing this airline, somebody else could be buying stocks in it. And how you get the stocks from your hand out to in front of you, like you have to score them.
Yes.
That's very, very good. Yeah, very ingenious.
And on your turn, I forget, maybe you have one of like 3 actions.
Yeah.
And I always like that because it simplifies the game. But this stock scoring in this is the exact same scoring as Alhambra scoring, which is the only reason I like Alhambra, a tile laying game, is it. If you have the majority, you score this many points. The second majority, you score this many points, etc. And there's a bunch of different stocks. And as you play this game, you run up the tracks depending on how many planes you put out there, etc., etc., etc. Again, I don't think it's in. I can't see that you can get anywhere.
You can dig it up somewhere.
But if you can, check out Airlines Europe.
I see it at the MFGSs all the time.
BFEGS.
My number 17 is a game that has an absolute terrible theme. I have no interest in this theme. I'm not sure exactly what the theme was. I still don't quite understand what you do in this game. It's just cubes and stuff. And unfortunately, it is a very well-respected, highly ranked game that I purchased just out of sheer nostalgia, I guess, to think that maybe this game is as good as people tell me it is.
Cube pushing?
Not cube pushing. There is a bunch of cubes in Die Macher or Die Macher.
Oh.
Which is a game of German politics. This game surprised me about how forward-thinking you need to be in planning and also manipulating these tracks, getting the votes that you need, and being able to affect the population's opinion and what they want, and how to maneuver your little group around to be the one that wins the election. It is an insane theme. It looks crazy when you look at it, but yet very impressed with the new design. I believe it was Spielworks, the new edition. So this game is readily available, highly respected. The rulebook is actually pretty decent. Pretty decent. The components are what they are. They're just very simple, but yet an incredibly dry Euro with a very, very interesting, I don't want to say it's a mechanism, but it forces you to think in both short-term and long-term decisions. So you're playing the short game while planning for the long game. And the fact that we played this game and Enrique completely sat out for almost half of it and then almost won it at the very last impressed me greatly of how this game works. So either way, Die Macher, an amazing Euro game for only the most serious of diehard Euro players.
It took me 2 rounds to figure out what was going on in this game.
Right. I don't really know what happened.
It was so freaking confusing. And that's one of the things that's difficult. The entry level into this game is pretty high because it is unlike any game we have played.
It is.
It's an interesting theme, unique, but it's so weird, and you're trying to get votes from people. And this is one of those games I don't know what I think about it because it is so bizarre, and it took me forever to figure out how to play it. I would need to play it a few more times to really get a feel for it.
Made in 86, so it's an old game.
Yeah, I remember. It's the one you said was is it the first on BGG?
Like one of the first ones ranked. It's a very well respected game. Go ahead. You're number 16.
17. You're first.
Oh, really? I just like hearing it.
My second time, third time I
just like hearing it. I'm number 1, baby.
My number 17, Undaunted Normandy.
You're daunted.
I am no longer daunted. I am undaunted in playing this game. I'm not afraid of Normans.
Mark Norman,
Schwarzkopf, maybe.
Mark Norman's one of my favorite comedians now.
Norman Reedus kills lots of zombies.
I don't like really Norman Reedus.
I don't.
People treat him like a saint from the Boondocks.
I don't know him from anything other than Walking Dead.
No,
that's what he became famous for. I've never.
It's weird that he was in Walking Dead, but he's also in the video game Death Standing.
A video game?
Yeah.
I heard he was in a video game.
He was. How do you get into a video game? Tron. Trying really hard. Stop it, Jerry. You're being too charming.
Who's the Norm from Cheers? What's his last name?
Not McDonald.
No.
It's just Norm.
Just Norm.
It's just Norm. He died.
He died?
Pretty sure he's dead.
The actor or the character?
I think he both died. They both died.
I guess when one dies, the other dies.
The character continues on. Well,
they can. Paul Walker.
Paul Walker.
O'Brien's still alive.
He's still fast and furious.
He's still eating dinner with the
family.
How many Normans are there? Norm Macdonald.
R.I.P.
Norm Schwarzkopf.
R.I.P.
Norm from Cheers.
R.I.P.
Are they all dead? Norm Reedus is going to put an arrow through all the other Norm's heads because they're zombies now.
That tends to be the norm.
So true.
We have punned this to death. Please move along.
Undaunted Normandy. We haven't even discussed the game. Lord.
It's a card game by... Oh, go ahead.
I freaking love this game. Okay. I know it's a whole thing. Dice in games. They can kill you. They can ruin a game. Speaking of can't stop from the last one.
Won't stop.
Can't stop I have played on BGA to death. However, once you get the 6, 7, and 8 taken care of, like once somebody has not stopped to the top, I had 3 die rolls.
You can literally stop because the game's over.
No, but without somebody winning yet. I had 3 die rolls in a row where it just told me not possible. Yeah. So like I didn't even get to try because all my die rolls, like there was nothing to do. Like stopped. They were already taken. So
and this daunted you.
That daunted me.
But in Undaunted,
the die rolls when you're firing at each other.
Segway.
Me and Deej played a game of Undaunted where he had that freaking sniper. And that sniper, he's shooting from a long way away. But man, if he gets you, you're gone.
That's it. As one does.
I love this game. And it takes like the whole like GMT combat commander and to me like dilutes it down to this very nice, simple game.
Diluted.
Normandy diluted.
Why is this game so watered down?
Undaunted, but diluted.
Get to the beach.
Normandy.
You should try War Chess. Enrique is...
I've played War Chess at BGG.
Invincible at it.
The War Chess is nothing like what I'm talking about.
I know, there's no dice, but it has the same designer.
Oh. Trevor Benjamin?
Yeah, and so those little pogs...
Yes.
They utilize the same.
Trevor Benjamin, David Thompson, publisher Osprey Games. Undaunted, and they even have North Africa and one with a solo now. I would love to play those, but I'm broke.
I'm waiting for Undaunted North Texas.
What's that going to be?
That's going to be a bunch of guys in a pickup truck. Get out of here!
No, probably what they call it. What's that?
Bunch of drunks fighting at the CVS.
It's 18-wheeler convoy.
Honk the horn.
Protesting.
Roll the dice to see if your horn causes anxiety. Pass the stress test. My blood pressure's high, don't it?
I can't get my certificate. My number 17. Undaunted Normandy.
My number 16 is a game that we had on our shelf of shame for a while.
I have a lot of self-shame as well.
And we were shamed for not playing it. And so finally we did play it. And I was shocked by how...
You were shocked from the game from the shelf of shame?
How much AP it gave me.
AP it gave you. Let's see.
Yeah. That it's still...
Oh, Mirage.
No.
Oh, no.
No. Lorenzo Il Magnifico.
Oh. Il, not L.
Il?
Il.
It's L.
No, it's not L. It's I-L. Il. L is a Spanish... It's right there on the shelf, literally beside you.
Il? Is he sick?
Lorenzo, no, it's not I-double-L. It's I-L.
Larry is sick
this is
in a magnificent way?
It's Italian. Il is Italian. L is Spanish, I'm assuming, even though I am Spanish myself.
But we don't know where eels come from.
That's true.
It's true.
You are the father.
Moray. But yeah, Lorenzo is a worker placement game with such strict placement of said workers to where everybody's move gets in your way. You have to pay for everything, and it's just incredibly difficult. And it's one of those games that every time I play it, I'm frustrated by how much I have to not only plan ahead, but at the same time have your plans frustrated by a simple move of another player. So you step on everybody's toes while at the same time trying to build your little engine and make that engine work. And you never have enough. You're always behind the 8 ball. Lorenzo Il Magnifico to me is it Simone Luciani?
Yes, Cranio.
Yeah, Cranio.
That team.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's of the same ilk there with those games such as
Ilk.
Grand Off. Yeah, ilk.
It's not a moose.
It's of the same
it's the
elk.
Same elk.
It's the same elk.
L's and ilk. You need to work on your E's and I's.
It's elk, isn't it?
Do you say I'm going to get me some milk or milk?
I like eggs.
I'm glad you do. I'm glad you don't say eggs.
Eggs?
Oh, my God.
Why is your problem? I like El Magnifico. It is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Il
Magnifico.
The sick Lorenzo.
A fantastic game. I hardly agree. Super, super, super dry Euro. There's dice in it.
But
they don't really perform as dice. They just
roll for strength.
Yeah.
Roll for strength of your Italian family that is apparently very ill, but yet magnificent. much like myself.
Your number 16, Lorenzo Il Magnifico. My number 16 has tumbled off my top 10.
Your sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Hey, that's relevant in March.
It is? Why?
Basketball? College basketball? Sweet 16?
The high school
The
kids?
tournament. No. I literally just said college basketball. And you said high school kids?
Well, you're 16 years old. They're letting them in college? Are these like the smart kids
it's
playing?
the tournament of basketball. My God, you don't know anything sports, do you?
He's going to watch a bunch of smart kids, bunch of nerds play high school basketball. I'm in physics, and they're out there.
No. College basketball, their tournament to the championship for college basketball.
You're talking about March.
It's called March Madness.
Yes.
But the Sweet 16, when they narrow it down from 64 teams down to 16, they call it the Sweet 16, then the Elite 8, then the Final 4.
And then what's the 2?
I don't know.
The Deuce?
Championship?
Big Deuce.
Top of the Deuce?
The Big Deuce.
The Guano.
I just watched the WNBA because they need our support. I don't know what they're doing.
Of that on TV.
It's hard to find.
Brittany Griner stuck in Russia.
I know.
For a long time.
Leave Brittany alone.
Leave Brittany alone, Putin. Okay. Number 6.
Not only topical.
Look at us. I hope in a month, like,
when this gets released,
we're not all dead or something.
Nobody's going to realize
we're in a nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Nuclear winter. Number 16. I don't know. Anachrony. There, I just said it.
Ooh, that's Enrique's number 1.
Enrique's number 1 from 2000 and whatever 19. That was.
What's Anachrony about? I know what anachronism is. It's an old thing.
I will tell you what BGG says. Use exosuits and time travel to ensure your vision for the future after the cataclysm.
So yeah.
None of that is portrayed in the game, but yet it is.
It is.
You
send stuff back.
It's abstract, but it's not. It's one of those things that's like, okay, I'm getting this from the future, but really you just draw shit.
It's Amazon Prime, but you have to pay it back. And if you don't, then Amazon gives you an anomaly.
The exosuits. Yes. Exo or exo?
Exo.
Exosuits.
Exo. As in exit. Oh, yeah.
If you did not get the minis, you're missing out.
Those minis are prime. And I painted them.
You stick so in the original game without the minis, it's just a hexagon disc that shows a suit.
And you don't want to slip disc.
And you put your little worker on there. If you get the upgrade of the mini,
you get a fat mini.
It's an actual mini, and your little worker slides into the top of it, and it's like he's driving the mech. It's a mech, basically.
It's a mech.
It is so good. To its core, it's a worker placement.
Even though the mechs kind of obstruct the view of the game a little bit. Yeah. But that's fine because those mechs are what you need to be looking at.
You know what? This says designer David on BGG. David Turksey and 2 more.
Well, he's like, nobody.
I feel bad for those guys.
That's if I ever design a game, that's what I'm going to purposely accredit somebody else with it. And then it's like, what do you want on the box? My name and 2 more. 2 more. You know what I'm going to do? No, I got a better one. I'm going to change my name if I ever design a game. And my name is going to be like a rapper name, 2 more. So that way, every time people are like on BGG clicking on that, like, what?
2 more Morrison.
Yes.
Bubba Fett.
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
2 more. David Turksey and 2 more, which if you click on it, Richard Arman and Victor Peter.
Victor.
So somehow David Turksey trumps them.
Because he keeps making good games. Good job, David.
Publisher Mind Clash, they just came out with this one that
Skyfall looking thing with
Severance or something?
Something. I don't remember.
Perseverance, something like that.
I don't know.
Grogan just did a video on it, and it's like their next big thing. They have also done. They did the Magic game?
No, they did the one with the multiple players, like not the what you call it with the weird creatures and stuff. I can't remember.
Okay, anyway,
nobody cares.
Numbers. My number 16, Anachrony. I love this game.
Great work
DJ
placement.
has yet to play it, and I'm going to break it back out. Play it again.
When we play it, it summons him because every time we play this game started, he shows up.
I wanted to play that game.
I can't believe I missed it. Anyways, that's our 20 through 16.
20 through 16.
2016.
So
that's when it all started.
We're 10 games down, 15 to go. Well, what started?
15 more? 1, 2, 3, 4. We do. We're good.
Yes, we made it to 16.
Nice.
Guess what that leaves?
15 more.
You had to count that out?
Well, no. Well, you remember last time we did this list, you screwed up. You've never done this list right. You've screwed it up or left.
What did I do wrong?
You don't remember this, but you left out a reversed and been like, oh, I can't remember. This is actually,
well,
so it's like,
okay.
So it's like, I'm keeping track. I'm marking it off as I go because I have this intense fear that I'm going to be like, and my number 15 is actually my number, So
you're talking about something that happened 3 years ago. Let it go.
Is an anachronism. I'm bringing it back.
As Adina Denzel said.
Who?
Let it go.
Oh, that's Adil Dazan.
Adil Dazan?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, John. Is that going to do it? We done?
I'm done. I've been done.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode.
This is
Stay tuned for next week when we do number 15.
More of this list.
To 11.
Oh,
this is your idea. How are you going to trash this? It's your idea.
Aren't y'all excited for more of this arbitrary list?
I'm Gaby.
Next week.
That's Jerry.
I wonder what his 15 will be.
Exactly. If you guess my number 15, Jerry will send you $15.
Ooh. It cost me $8 to ship it. I ain't PayPaling you.
I ain't paying them prices.
Nah, I'm not your friend.
Bye-bye.
And I'm not paying for services either.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.